Creighton didn't know Gerald, not really. He lived out back in Henderson's old shed, the one with the rusted tin roof and the sagging, splintered door. He kept to himself, mostly. Too much, some folks whispered. A lurking shadow at the edge of town, a cold whisper in the tall, dry grass, an unexpected chill on a warm summer day. He was just there. He was a tall man, or he seemed so, always stooped, as if carrying an invisible weight. You rarely saw his face clearly. It was hidden by lank, greasy hair, stringy and unclean. His eyes, though, sometimes you caught a glimpse, like chipped flint, cold, utterly empty. A bad feeling clung to him, persistent, like the smell of damp wool and something else, something rotten. Night was his preferred time. He walked then, always in a big black cloak, far too heavy for the season. It billowed around him as he moved, a dark, shapeless cloud on legs, sweeping silently through the sleeping streets of Creighton. Dogs would whine behind locked doors. Cats would scatter into darker alleys. People pulled their curtains tighter. He never spoke, just walked, a phantom haunting the moonlight. What did he do out there, on those long, silent walks? Nobody knew for sure, not then. Imagination, though, ran wild. Dark thoughts festered in the enforced silence. Creighton held its collective breath, waiting. Something was coming. You could almost taste it in the air, metallic, sharp, like the tang of old blood. The very air grew thick, heavy, poised for a storm. Then the screaming started. Old Man Hemlock found in his own kitchen. It wasn't a pretty sight, not pretty at all. His eyes were wide, staring up at the faded wallpaper, as if it held some cosmic answer, or a question he couldn't voice. Creighton screamed, a silent, horrified scream at first. Then it found its raw, terrified voice. Fear had a new name, and that name was Gerald. Bingo night was a Tuesday ritual held in the St. Michael's Church Hall. Mrs. Gable always left the bingo dabbers, her whole cardboard box full, bright, cheerful colours, ruby red, sapphire blue, emerald green, canary yellow. They were gone Wednesday morning, vanished without a trace, just the empty, torn box left behind. Who would steal bingo dabbers? The question hung heavy, insane, unanswered. Gerald's shed began to change. That was the first real sign. Splashes of colour appeared, bright, garish, sickeningly vivid, red like fresh slaughter, blue like a deep, painful bruise, green like stagnant pond bile, dabbed everywhere across the rusty tin, over the splintered, weathered wood. His masterpiece was beginning, a canvas of pure, unadulterated madness. He worked quickly, feverishly, lost in it. Then came the bodies. He brought them there, to his colourful personal hell. He painted them too. Dot by careful dot, swirl by loving swirl. Familiar faces became grotesque, leering masks. Skin became a nightmarish tapestry of unspeakable horror. He painted himself last, a final, unifying touch. Merging with his terrible creations, a silent god in his own ghastly, vibrant kingdom, watching. Creighton simply shut down. Doors were bolted early. Windows remained shuttered day and night. Fear was a thick, suffocating blanket, smothering all normal life. A long week passed. No new horrors, just the oppressive, watchful silence and the chilling, certain knowledge he was still out there. The colours, however, had run dry. No more bingo dabbers could be found in town. Anywhere. Gerald felt it keenly. The itch, the gnawing, desperate need. His vibrant colours were gone. His grand art was left incomplete, unfinished. He paced the confines of his shed like a caged, starving animal. The dried, bright paint flaked from his own skin, from the walls. He needed more. Something, anything. The silence outside the shed. It seemed to mock him. His world was fading, losing its terrible glow. Little Timmy Henderson's dog, Sparky, a friendly, scruffy mutt, fur the colour of old gold, always a wagging tail, gone without a sound Saturday morning. Timmy cried his eyes out. His mother held him tight, her own tears falling. Another loss, another piece of Creighton snatched away by the darkness. The town mourned this new, petty cruelty. It felt different, sharper, more personal, a twisted game. Gerald had Sparky, cowering in the shed. The dog whimpered constantly, a low, terrified sound. Gerald held the old rusty clippers. He worked with a strange precision, shaving the golden fur carefully. Letters began to appear, stark, raw, against the pink, trembling skin. Gerald, his name, etched onto a living, breathing canvas, a desperate final mark of his existence. Sheriff Brody finally saw the shed. He couldn't miss it. The colors screamed from a distance, a lurid beacon of madness. He wasn't alone. 2 deputies flanked him, shotguns held ready. Hearts pounded a frantic rhythm. "Gerald, come out with your hands up!" Only silence answered, a heavy, dreadful silence, seeping from the painted, monstrous shack, waiting. Inside, Gerald heard them. The jig was up, trapped. The beautiful, terrible colors on the walls. They seemed to mock him now. His art, his life. Panic clawed at his throat. A raw, burning thing. No escape, no more paint, no more canvases, just the stern voices outside. Closer now. The barking of their commands. The world was ending. His world, his art. It was all over. A single sharp crack, muffled by the shed's thin walls, then nothing. An awful ringing silence. Brody didn't hesitate. He kicked the flimsy door. It groaned open on rusted hinges. Gerald lay there, sprawled amidst his painted horrors. A final desperate splash of crimson. Not from a dabber this time, his own. The end of his short, bloody reign. Quick, ugly, done. Finally done. Sparky was there too. Cowering in a dark corner, shaved, starved, traumatized, the deputies recoiled. From the sight, from Gerald's final grotesque pose, but Sparky, the dog was desperate, beyond reason. Hunger gnawed, a primal, undeniable urge. It had found food, the unspeakable, the final stomach-churning horror. Creighton would never forget Gerald or Sparky. Never, ever.